What is up, everybody? This is Lines on Paper with a quick review. Before I get into the subject of our review, we're going to talk about my comic, Malevolent Rising, issue number 4, currently funding on Indiegogo. Please check that out. It's now funding in demand, so you still have a chance to get in on that and get some of the newer perks. Now, on to the review. So, I've decided to just do kind of a quick double review here of the 2 Spider-Man titles that came out this week and talk about them. So, Amazing Spider-Man 61, Non-Stop Spiderman number 1. So, I picked up the Ken Lashley cover, so I went ahead and used that as the slide for while we talk, just because they had all 3 of the cover, or I think there's actually 5 of the variant covers at my comic shop, and I just really like this one. I thought that was a cool Spidey image, so pick that one up. Let's talk about Non-Stop Spider-Man first, since we're on it. So this comic was kind of neat. It really lives up to its name. Its writing style is very frantic. It's Spider-Man. He is... it really just literally opens with him jumping out a window and fighting some weird mass criminals we've never seen before, while at the same time a friend of his is calling him because she's having a bit of a crisis. And honestly, the friend's crisis seems like it's going to be the crux of the storyline. It involves a new drug hitting the streets of New York, and I don't want to spoil too much because I thought it was a good book, and I'd really like to, recommend you pick it up, read it yourself, and see what you think. Chris Bocciolo did the artwork for this book, and I believe he did the writing too, which is interesting. I don't think I'd ever read anything he'd written before, and I liked it. Like I said, it lives up to the name to where it's nonstop. It literally just starts, and it is, I think the span of the story is probably 90 seconds, and it's just a lot of frantic dialogue, Spider-Man chasing a car, beating up some villains, and trying to get to his friend in time. So let's move on to issue 61 of Amazing Spider-Man. Now, we have a new comic book debut, or a new costume debuting in this comic book. You see it in this kind of the split image that we have here of Spider-Man, half in the red and blue and half in this new suit. So, what to say about this book? I don't want to call it bad. I just don't know if it was for me. So, if that makes sense to any of you. So, let's just kind of go over the basics of it. So, Spider-Man is having trouble making rent, and he ends up contacting an old friend of his, a character that was introduced during the Dan Slott run, named Nora Winters. She works for a social media kind of superhero social media influencer type thing. I don't know. This is where the story becomes not for me, because I'm not great at social media lingo or anything. And they make an offer to Peter Parker to give to Spider-Man, where he can basically wear this new suit, and it's got all these gadgets and all these things to help him, but it also has a camera where he can upload POV of his crime-fighting missions directly to their website. So, I don't know. It's an interesting story. I mean, I kind of want to see where they go with it. I don't like the costume. I'll say that right away. I don't know what it reminds me of. A Power Ranger, maybe? Definitely looks more like a Spider-Man 2099 kind of suit. And I was thinking, when I looked at the full design of the suit, I played the 2 Spider-Man PlayStation games, and one of the features is you get to unlock all these costumes. Many of them are just suits from past storylines, but there's a couple of costumes in there that are fresh designs, and most of them look way better than this. I almost would have rather seen. In fact, I think there was a costume in one of the games called the Velocity costume that looks similar to this suit, but better. More Spider-Man, but still very high-tech with like the glowing neon spider and everything. So, one thing I don't like about this book, and I don't like about this arc in general, is too much Boomerang. Good Lord, he's been one of the central characters in this Amazing Spider-Man since issue 1, and I just can't get on board with that. I don't care about the character that much. I know that Nick Spencer, he wrote the Deadly Foes of Spider-Man, which was a cool breakout comic featuring a squad of Spidey's kind of B-list villains led by Boomerang, and he's transitioned Boomerang character to the Amazing Spider-Man now. And I am just done with this character. They've got him. He's Peter Parker's roommate. He doesn't know Peter Parker's secret identity, but they kind of have these wacky misadventures, it seems, every 3 or 4 issues. They have a shrunken down version of the big monster Gog as like their pet. And I don't know. I don't like that bit of the storyline. If you're currently reading The Amazing Spider-Man, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are as far as having Boomerang hanging around as a character. I kind of like he gets no respect in the underworld. I mean, I get it. Nobody likes him. He's kind of a joke. He got a little notoriety in the one of the last major crossovers they did. I think the War of Realms. I think he had kind of a moment. But yeah, I'm done with the character. So as the issue goes overall, not bad. I'm kind of putting this in a we'll see where they go with this kind of a category. So I do like this direction for Spider-Man as far as more integration of Peter Parker and Spider-Man storylines together. Non-Stop Spider-Man, on the other hand, is definitely a recommend. I liked the art. I liked the story. Lots of covers to choose from. Like I said, this is the one that I picked, but definitely recommend pick up Non-Stop Spider-Man if you're a fan of Spidey and want something that's just kind of a more traditional Spider-Man story that's kind of detached from the main titles, what they're doing right now. So, yeah, that is my quick review for today. So please hit like and subscribe. If you like what we're doing here, I will have more videos up this week, some more comic book reviews, and talk about any news that pops up. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye.